Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Doing Business in Bentonville. My name is Andy Wilson, and I'm the Executive Director, and it's great to have you back with us again today. And I want to say, first of all, to all our viewers, thank you, thank you, thank you. You are just doing a great job listening to us and watching us. And again, we're on your favorite streaming channels, so check us out on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and of course, at our website, dbbnwa.com. Okay, let's go to work this morning. Let me welcome our guest, Jeff Clabber. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Andy.
It is so great to have you.
Great to be here.
You know, I've seen like I have just like known you forever, and I think I have. And, you know, one thing is so familiar is your address, 8th and Walton. I love that.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, it's, as you know, for many, many years, it's been the home office address for Walmart. And
I know.
Eventually it will be kind of an Easter egg for those who know, know. But
that's true. Yeah. Well, you know, I drove to 8th and Walton for about 30 years. So that's what I did. But Jeff, again, thank you for coming today. Thank you for being here and being on the podcast. Jeff Clabber is the president and CEO of 8th and Walton. So, Jeff, talk to us about 8th and Walton. Tell us about what you do.
Sure. You know, 8th and Walton is an education and consulting company for Walmart suppliers. That's the short version.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are small and large suppliers that are always looking to understand best practices, managing and growing their business successfully, profitably with Walmart. Some of the largest suppliers have come to us for almost, for decades now. Mm-hmm. To train people, a new sales analyst or supply chain analyst in those roles, come and take classes from us. Small and medium suppliers, especially, maybe they have somebody in a role like that and they need training. Also, at the same time, more and more, there's just there's a need for knowledge and understanding of how best to manage Walmart, and so we're here to provide education and guidance. And so again, that could be, in 1, 2, 3 days of training. It could be over several months of working more directly with a team. And really kind of the real mission for us in all of that, especially as Walmart continues to evolve. They are a dynamic and evolving company. And the small and medium suppliers are very often, they need more information and visibility to how to manage Walmart. The biggest suppliers, they understandably get the most face time with Walmart. The small and medium suppliers, and there's thousands and thousands of them, they need a little bit more guidance and support.
Right.
And so we've created a platform that helps them get the knowledge and the understanding that they need.
Okay, that sounds really exciting. And we just got to go down deep here. Let's just take a deep dive, because all this is so interesting to me and to our viewers about, again, what all that you do, some specificities about that. Now, before we do that, now you've been leading this organization, 13 years or almost 13 years?
I got involved. Actually, we moved here. My family, my wife and I moved here 13 years ago, and I just started talking with the partners of 8th and Walton, about that time, and then over the next few years, sort of just got more and more involved in the business and buying out the different partners in the business, and took ownership and leadership a few years later. And so, I've been involved for about 13 years now.
Great.
And it's really been a neat journey. Any entrepreneur or someone who has entrepreneurial backgrounds you'll know that there's always it's never a straight line. It's like parenting, as we've learned too. So it's been a good journey and a good adventure, and the business is going great. It's been a really, really exciting thing to build.
That's awesome. Well, that is awesome. And, I've known people, and I know some of the people are on your team, and I've known some of the many people in the past that have been on your team, and you've done a great job, of selecting your team. The people that I know, they are extremely knowledgeable in their space. And then just some research around the people that are on your team. You've really built a strong team of knowledge and subject matter experts in that space. So well done there.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm really grateful for the team we have. And I think one of the things that I learned, my own sort of learning as a business leader, has included, of course, in the work that we do, it's critical for us to have that subject matter expertise and knowledge, like you said. And early on, I think I was always acutely aware of recruiting for that. And I've realized that it has to be that and an alignment of values, sort of what matters to us as an organization and to these people. Because, you might come in with the knowledge of every, topic that we would need you to have. But if we didn't also have pretty good alignment of what matters to each of us, it was just going to be a matter of time until we got kind of sideways in some way.
Yeah.
And so that's what really makes the team click now. And, our team's been, most of our team is, 5, 7, almost 10 years of being involved in the business, just really cares a lot. They're curious. They want to keep learning. So it's not like, I had this knowledge and it's 10 years old now. I mean, every day I just got out of a meeting where we were talking about some of the biggest programs that are coming out of Walmart right now. I mean, we were on the front edge of that because one of those values is just being curious, continuing to learn, caring, taking responsibility. So anyway, I mean, the team itself is really engaged and just has a lot of good heart. And I'm truly grateful for the people.
Wonderful. Okay, well, great. Well, let's do this for our audience and our viewers. Why don't we do this? Let's sort of go down deep and walk through your services, your products, your classes, so they can get a breath, and then just sort of give us an overall, and then we might go deeper on 2 or 3 of those, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Great. Yeah.
All right, so tell us what you do. What are some of your classes?
Yeah, so the classes range from, learning the analytics platforms that Walmart provides to suppliers, Retail Inc., and very soon Luminate, supply chain, just replenishment, forecasting, inventory, production planning, all those aspects of just flowing product into Walmart, DCs, FCs, stores, that kind of thing. Accounting, invoicing, deductions, e-commerce, Canada, is another facet of our business, teaching suppliers in Canada how to work with Walmart in Canada. And it's really, it's understanding what are the key metrics. Not, we would talk about, I'm sure you've talked about this before, the what, so what, now what. So there's all this great data available, but if I just give you the data, you're like, okay, what do I do now?
Right.
So like helping suppliers understand what parts of that data are actually significant, and what can you actually do with it? So I've just given you data. I've told you these parts are significant, but what actions are you going to take next? And so teaching all of that in sales classes, replenishment classes, accounting classes, all of that to understand really how to proactively, constructively manage their business.
Okay, now, so what's the time of a class, the length of a class? So tell us a bit about how that works.
Sure. I mean, the classes are anywhere from 2 hours to a full day, and some of them are 3-day. We sell suites that are 3 and 4 days, and they can be spread out over several weeks. That works really well when you have, let's say, you've just hired a new account manager or sales analyst who has a specific function. Someone else was in that seat probably before them. So you have a pretty clear definition of the role, and you have 1 or 2 or 3, team members who need to learn these functions, and those classes work really well in that capacity. At the same time, we recognized a few years ago, very often there are supplier teams that are either brand new to working with Walmart, smart, capable people. They've just never worked with Walmart before. Or they're kind of stuck and they've never really dedicated the time and energy to learning how to manage the business. And so we have really 2 paths that we work with suppliers. One is those classes, as you said, and then the other is working with those teams for a period of time, 3, 6, 12 months, sometimes longer. Some of our clients in this capacity have been with us for years now, and really working with them to understand what is the data out of Walmart saying, how can you use this to manage your business, to communicate effectively with Walmart, all of those facets. And so it's always in an air of educating them. We want them to be empowered and better off and ready to go do this on their own when that makes sense for their business strategically. And sometimes it really makes sense. They continue to build their team around the knowledge that we bring. And so we work with them for an extended period of time, just continuing to be the front edge sort of thought leaders on how to build their business with Walmart. So yeah, now it's really the classes or the consultative services.
Wonderful. Well, one consistent thing that when I was there, and it shows today, is that the most consistent thing is change. And Walmart's constantly changing and upgrading and doing all those things. And it's great that that the companies have a source like 8th and Walton that they can lean into to help educate and develop their team and their people in their organizations. And so I can see you bringing a very valuable service to our area. And we've we've got a few thousand suppliers in this area in Northwest Arkansas, and now around the world, as you mentioned, and you're in Canada. So that's awesome. So are you duplicating very similar things there in Canada as you do here in the U.S.?
Largely, yes. There are certain programs that generally tend to, for lack of a better term, maybe just have a lag. It's 6, 12 months, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, where we will hear about these programs and they'll first launch in the U.S. And we know it's probably just a matter of time before they roll out in Canada, and we provide the same training there for suppliers when it becomes relevant to them. So yeah, we do a lot of training with suppliers in Canada, and it's the same as I said earlier, where it's just a matter of Walmart provides a lot of really good resources to educate suppliers, and at the same time, everybody learns differently, and there's only so much you could learn perhaps reading an article or watching a video online. Computer-based learning is really great for scale, sort of scalable learning, but to sit down and talk in a room with one other person or a few other people and really get to have a dialogue about what you're trying to learn and understand and ask your questions, that's obviously just a different learning experience, and it has a different effectiveness. And so that's the help we provide in Canada with the suppliers we educate, and of course all of our U.S. classes too.
Wonderful. I think I can see the value of the consulting, I call it consulting services, where you're able to come back and stay with this or the people of this organization a longer period of time and continue just to help them get better and more efficient. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's a great resource. Now, okay, we hear so much about supply chain logistics today, how important that is, and it's changing rapidly. I had someone in the studio just recently, and these micro warehouses that are popping up around the country, and this individual said, hey, he's opening one here in Northwest Arkansas. He said, hey, I want to do 500 of these in the U.S. Then I'm going to go international. Then, and all of this supply chain. And what happened with this surface during the pandemic, and we couldn't get the product, we couldn't get it on time, and we sort of like the product either today or tomorrow, right? When we order it. So, but you have a class in supply chain, correct?
Yeah, a whole suite of classes on supply chain.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. And so much of it is, if the product isn't on the shelf or in the warehouse that's going to fill the order, we can't sell it. Right. I mean, it sounds so simple.
Yeah.
When Walmart rolled out OTIF, I think it's 7+ years ago now, it was basically, we need you suppliers to deliver product on time and in full. Give us everything we ask for when we ask for it. It sounds so simple when you put it in those words.
Right.
But if that doesn't happen, we have nothing to sell.
Right.
And even as e-commerce has evolved and grown and changed, like you said, it still remains the same. I mean, whether we're filling the orders by having someone pick it in the store, or we're shipping to that person's house, or a drone even. I mean, all of those things really rely on the supplier getting that product to where it needs to be.
Right.
And so supply chain remains critical, and that is either going to enable suppliers to grow or keep them from growing if they are filling their orders or they're not. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I noticed one of the programs you have is Retail Link. That has been around a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, and so talk about retail, but it's still very important today. Extremely important today.
Right.
So talk about your class. What do you have there around the Retail Link piece?
Yeah. So we do still have Retail Link classes, and Retail Link itself. So the announcement, of course, came out just recently that Walmart was going to sunset decision support, or DSS, which is one of the key portions within Retail Link. So Retail Link itself is not going away, but DSS, decision support, it has been announced that will go away in March of 24. And it will be replaced by a platform called Luminate. So we currently, and will continue to offer training on Retail Link and DSS. There are a lot of suppliers who are going to just need to understand, how do I get my data, any historical data, make sure that you've got that covered before DSS does go away. And so we're offering some new materials and training around that. And then at the same time, helping suppliers get ready for Luminate. There are really 2 channels right now, Luminate Basic and Chartered. And Charter suppliers will pay for a lot of additional data and insights. And on Basic, they will have much more limited data set, but it's all the same critical data and information that they need to manage their supply chain and every other facet. And so just helping suppliers really be prepared for that rollout. And we'll be training on that as well.
I think that's going to be so critical because I've had several conversations with Walmart people about Luminate, and then I've had Walmart some suppliers in talking with them here on the podcast, and they like Luminate's coming. So I think it's awesome that you're going to be on the cutting edge of that, and you'll be training individuals in the companies on it, because what understanding I have is definitely a big part of the future.
Yeah. I mean, I think more at a sort of strategic and commentary level, I think Walmart, of course, is in this fight in retail, and they're competing with a company that is both a retailer and a tech company, AWS and .com. And they can subsidize their .com business with their tech business. And so Walmart's like, hey, we've got to get creative. We've got to build new businesses, new channels. And they're looking for all these entrepreneurial ways to do that. And at the same time, one of those is, hey, let's find ways to monetize this data and sell it by way of a platform like Luminate. I think it kind of begins to beg the question, is our first priority to sell products, to be a retailer, or is our first priority to sell data? Because you can draw the line between those two and accidentally put your retail business at a disadvantage if, for example, suppliers start to struggle to stay in stock because that data is cost prohibitive for them to use to manage their retail business. So that's, I think that's going to be kind of interesting to watch as we go.
Well, I think there's a company out west that does that. So, we know Amazon does that. I mean, that's a big part of their business, of selling selling their technology information.
Right.
And they've been very successful at it. And I think, again, as you look at how Amazon's doing it, you can learn some lessons there. Yeah. The good and the bad from it.
Sure.
So I'm sure Walmart will, anything Walmart does, they're gonna really take a hard look at it. And a good thing we know about Walmart, they're gonna listen to the people. They're gonna listen to their consumers, their customers, and I think you'll see that. But that's a great point you raised, though.
Yeah. It will be, of course, everyone in this community doing business in Bentonville, we are all, hometown fans, and we want the home team to do great. And so we're all cheering for great, smart, well-informed decisions.
Right. Okay. Other classes, services that you might want to mention or go down a bit deeper on that you do, because you do a whole variety of things. There's a lot that you do. So anything else there that you'd like to pinpoint?
Yeah, thank you. No, really, it's all focused on helping suppliers be informed and be successful with Walmart and staying on the front edge. As I said, teaching on Luminate will be a key area so that suppliers aren't accidentally left in the dark on managing their business. They don't become a burden, for example, to their buyers, maybe, where they're saying, the buyer says, what's going on with your inventory levels? And they say, I don't even know. Right. That wouldn't be good. So just helping all of the suppliers who need to stay informed and on top of all that data and manage it going forward, managing their business with that data going forward, that'll be a key area in the near future. And then in terms of the consulting service, just providing guidance to suppliers who have a team in place but not necessarily dedicated knowledge of Walmart, and providing guidance to them on a little bit more of an ongoing basis.
Well, okay, that's good. And I want to remind our viewers, they can go to your website, check you out, see all the services and all the things you talked about. I'm really excited about the Luminate thing. I think that's going to be awesome that you're into that. And of course, we'll make sure that we share, your website, all of that, so people can get directly to you. Now, as you look, I was telling someone yesterday on a podcast. I have been in retail probably 40 years, my entire life, retail, or close to it. And I think I'm more excited today about retail than I've ever been. It's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
All the changes that are taking place, the future, talk about the future. What do you think, Jeff? It's sort of awesome where retail is going. Yeah. And the consumer is winning.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I like going to Walmart, but when I don't have to go and I can get that item delivered to my house, and I can go ride my bike instead of going to Walmart. I still go to Walmart, still do the store tours, but that is so nice.
Yeah.
So
all that innovation has really helped the consumer.
Yeah.
I think it was an interesting shift just a couple years back where, and I think Doug McMillan spoke to this at one of the shareholder meetings, that save money, live better can and should have a broader definition. And sometimes straight up saving dollars is the way that families that we can help families live better. Sometimes living better is about saving time, because time has a value also.
Exactly.
Right? And sometimes it's harder to put a value on time, like a dollars and cents value on your time. But like you said, if I can just come home from work and the groceries are waiting for me,
right,
how has that improved my quality of life? Right? And so I think that's a really interesting shift. And as all of this innovation is happening around getting people the stuff they need, it's the consumer is benefiting in all kinds of ways. It's neat.
I was out in a town close to our area recently, and they have the drone delivery, and so I was cycling actually, and me and some friends, and I was watching a drone come in, and I thought, okay. All right, I've been around here a long time, and it's pretty exciting to see a drone come into Walmart. I'm just saying it. It's been out delivering product, and such innovation is going on throughout retail. And the thing that I think the around omnichannel that we spend a lot of time focused on here at Doing Business in Bentonville is that omnichannel experience. From I've heard several people say, the closest store is in your pocket. It's your phone or wherever. It is really. It is the closest store. And for what you're doing is you have, and it sounds like you're doing a great job at 8th and Walton, really helping develop the future talent.
Yeah. That's
to
right.
learn how to do this omni-channel experience.
Yeah. And we talk about this internally, with our team and with all the suppliers we work with. It's just about, I do with my own kids too. It's like, let's always be looking at dividing the work and the opportunity in front of us, dividing it into what's in my control and what's not. Right. And the stuff that's not in my control, let's let go and, kind of go where you need to go with that to make peace with that. And then all the stuff that we can control, what are we going to do to make the most of it?
Right.
Right. And just to look at that in those two lists and in that context. Right.
Yeah.
And so, I think as you said, as we're educating and providing guidance to the future talent that's managing retail, there is a lot that's changing. Let's always be looking for what can we do? Where can we win? Where can we be successful in helping Walmart and helping our teams and our companies and just kind of focusing on the areas where we have influence.
So exciting. It's great that you have a service. It's great you have a team that you have, and an expert group of men and women and leaders not only have the background and the background and the knowledge, but they also have the experience. And when I looked at your team, one of the things I thought about as I looked at them and read about each of your team, they have a lot of experience in this space.
Yeah.
And that brings a lot of, that helps a talent so much.
Yeah.
You've done a good job with that,
Thank
as
you.
you said earlier.
Thank you.
So congratulations on that,
Thank
Jeff.
you. Yeah.
Okay, Jeff, now a bit about the future. Okay, again, as we sort of wrap up, is there anything else in the future that, you don't have to tell us everything, but anything you're just like, hey, this is something that we might stick our toe in the water.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't let you out of here till I talk about it.
No. I think as far as our business is concerned on that, the big things that we're talking about now are the expansion of the service that we offer, which we've talked about quite a bit already, and then training and guidance around Luminate, which again I know we've talked about, and then probably the third big thing, and it's a little bit early, so I can't, I won't get into too many specifics just yet. But we were fortunate and grateful to become a certified B Corp last year, and the idea of that is basically using business as a force for good. And we went through, it was probably a 2-year process to achieve this designation. It's hundreds of detailed questions all about the ins and outs of the business. How well do we treat our team? How transparent are we? How are we in having a positive impact on our community? All these facets. I mean, it's really an extensive examination of our business to get that B Corp certification. So now a year ago we became a B Corp, and we are in conversations with other B Corp suppliers, large brands that you're familiar with that are also B Corps, and you'd see them on the shelf. They've got like a circle B on their label, to create an event and to start to build a community of B Corp product companies to talk within the group about what are their own experiences in building their retail business, in working with Walmart, of course. And really the idea of it is we can have some really practical conversations and experience sharing to say, hey, we wanted to take some plastic out of our product, and here's what went well, here's what didn't. We wanted to improve the sustainability of our supply chain, the carbon emissions in our supply chain. Walmart has Project Gigaton. So how did we work with Project Gigaton to improve our supply chain and emissions? So really getting those suppliers together that either are B Corps or maybe in the future also aspire to be in that mindset, in that way of looking at the work that they do. Getting them together just to share what's working, what's not, what have we learned, and just improve their overall impact as a company. So that's in conversation. I can't, I can't share more than that at this point, but I'm super excited about that.
Well, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
What knowledge I have of that, that's a long journey.
Yeah.
And so congratulations on getting that. And I will tell you, that's exciting news. And maybe when you get all that put together, and you can come back and talk to us about it. I think we just could do that.
I'd love it.
Which is a big topic.
Yeah.
And a big service. And we're all our companies and should be focused on those critical elements of a B Corp.
Yeah.
They should be aspiring to that.
Yeah.
And I think that to have someone like you and your organization here locally that can provide that development, that training, that information, and collaboration with others, huge.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. At the end of the day, and our team, we talk about this too, like these are really smart, capable people. And team members have said, I could take a paycheck anywhere, right? But at the end of the day, like, why are we really doing this?
Yeah.
And we want to feel like we've had some kind of positive impact on the world around us, not just collected our paycheck. So I think that goes for us individually, and it goes for us as a company too. Let's make sure we're having a positive impact. I think
that's huge. And as you talk about careers and people coming into today, that is front mindset on not just I should say not just the people coming into careers from college and things, but also people that are working today in these companies. That is front, and that's exciting times that we're in, that people are thinking of these jobs and these resources like that. We should have always done that.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I am really, really proud of on that line of thinking is I'm really proud of how Walmart has continued to get better around that space.
I agree.
When I was there, we have such a strong culture, and it was great to work with Sam Walton and other great leaders there, and they taught me so much. And it was just a great career. But I believe it's even getting better. And what you're talking about is that.
Yeah.
Let's really be meaningful here.
Right.
Right. And not only individually, but collectively and our organization, and let's do really good work here.
Yeah.
So I think when we look back, we feel much better.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can feel like we talk about this. My wife and I talk about this. Do I want to be a good descendant or a good ancestor? Right? Do I want to be a good descendant or a good ancestor? And when we think about the impact of our company, that's my work in becoming a good ancestor, where my kids and grandkids, they'll look back and say, look at the impact my grandfather had.
Wow.
Right?
That's legacy.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That is great. You're that deep in your thinking. And that, again, as I said at the very beginning of our podcast, I think I think a lot of your company and a lot of you, and I've known of you for a long time. I've known of your company for a long time, even longer. And now what you're doing and your vision around even becoming much better, and then pushing that all the way down in your organization, and then you'll represent that with your clients and customers.
Yeah, thank you.
Great job, Jeff.
Thank you very much.
I'm so glad you came in today. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
and I appreciate you coming in. Anything you want to tell our viewers before we wrap up? Anything else?
Wow, that's a danger is just wide open. I think I'm with you. I think the future with Walmart is really bright. I think they are dynamic to their credit. They are not. It would be so easy to just be comfortable with status quo, and then it can just get away from you so fast. But they continue to reinvent and evolve, and that means challenges. The change is never easy,
right.
But I think it really creates new opportunity all along the way for Walmart and for all the suppliers and everybody in this community. So I'm excited and encouraged about where it's going.
Good. Me too. Thank you, Jeff. Okay, you heard from Jeff Klepper, CEO of 8th and Walton. Jeff, thank you. Thank you again for being here. Best to you, your family, your team.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to hear more about your future. So we'll come back to that at some point for sure. So again, thank you everyone for viewing today. We appreciate you so much. And please let us know if we can do anything and share your thoughts with us. Don't forget to check us out. LinkedIn and all your favorite streaming channels. Again, thank you for viewing. Jeff, thank you for being here. Goodbye, everyone.